Hello there, Kangaroo Bros, and welcome back to RooWatch, the series where I sacrifice my sanity to talk about the worst horror movies out there. Last time, we talked about Asylum's masterpiece, Three-Headed Shark Attack, and if I had to sum up the experience in one clip, it would be this.
A three-headed shark? What you been smoking, kid?
To figure out what to watch next, I contacted NASA so they would create a really complicated scientific choosing device for me. And it seems like we're taking a trip back to the early 2000s, with today's entry, Jason X. Well, that's not too bad, right? Friday the 13th is one of the most iconic horror movie franchises, and its main antagonist, Jason Voorhees, is part of pop culture. Everyone knows the hockey mask machete-wielding killing machine. He's on shirts, he has Funko Pops, he even starred in his own video game, and appeared on talk shows.
Working on the streets of New York, did you get a lot of people come up to you, ask for your autograph and stuff like that? Ever think about doing a musical?
So how bad can Jason X be? It's just the 10th entry in the series. The 10th? What was New Line Cinema thinking?
Need money.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, before we take a look at the movie itself, let's talk a bit about its premise. As I said, this is the 10th movie in the Friday the 13th franchise, and the second movie in the series without Friday the 13th in its title, together with Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. And look how much truth that title held. This movie's synopsis goes like this. Jason Voorhees returns with a new look, a new machete, and his same murderous attitude as he is awakened on a spaceship in the 25th century. A spaceship? The 25th century? Well, count me in! And just look at the poster. There is Jason, and he's wearing half of his hockey mask, and a weird Lord Zed metal mask, and there is a saber-looking machete in the middle of it, with a screaming lady on it. Cool. But before we really start, I have to get one more thing out of the way. I may be a little biased on this one, because it was the first Friday the 13th movie I saw, and I loved it back then. I've never seen it again since, but I remember that there were some funny scenes in it. I also remember some good gore effects, and that the quality itself wasn't that good. But maybe that was due to the fact that I watched it together with a friend who recorded it right off TV on a VHS tape. Okay, that's all. Let's do this. We start things off with a really good looking opening credit. It's the year 2010 and Jason somehow got captured and is now being experimented on by the US military. Now I know what you may think. I've seen Jason Goes to Hell and he got dragged to hell at the end of it. How is he back now? Well, here's your answer. Jason X takes place after the later released Freddy vs. Jason. So yeah, that's how they captured him. Let's continue with introducing our female lead, the government scientist Rowan LaFontaine, played by Lexa Doig. You may know her from a role as the android Andromeda in the TV show of the same name. Anyhow, while Rowan wants to put Jason into cryostasis, a group of military dudes have other plans.
His unique ability to regenerate lost and damaged tissue, I mean, it cries out for more research. I don't want him frozen, Rowan. I want him soft.
Nice.
Let's see how that works out. Great, right to the killing. I like it. Rowan somehow manages to trap Jason in a cryopod, but that doesn't stop him from giving her a good poke.
Cryogenic breach. Emergency lockdown.
Oh God, no!
Well, shit. Some time passes and we are now introduced to a group of students led by their professor Dr. Lowe as they stumble upon the research facility. Oh, and we are in the future now, of course. We know that because they're not only wearing futuristic clothes, but they also have such futuristic names as Azrael, Janessa, and Brandon. They find the popsicles, and we see that even being frozen doesn't stop Jason's bloodlust. But don't worry, they brought some futuristic first aid with them.
Oh, you're so pretty.
The little research group brings Jason and Rowan back to their ship, the Grendel, and we're introduced to the ship's crew and security personnel.
So what she look like? She's cute. Yeah. And single. I'm so lonely.
There are even some interesting characters in this movie, like Tunaron and his self-built android KM-14, played by Lisa Ryder, who's also been part of the Andromeda cast. That's weird. And it's time for more future tech, as the researchers are microwaving Rowan back to life.
Easy, easy.
The plot quickly advances as we learn that Professor Lowe has some financial troubles and is told that the corpse he found holds some value.
Jason Voorhees. He killed nearly 200 people and simply disappeared without a trace. But to the right buyer, he could be worth a fortune.
We also learn that he's kind of a douche, as he's boinking his students for better grades. And that's not the only awkward sex scene in the movie. But as we all know, there is one thing Jason really hates, and that's people fucking. His hate brings him back to life, and he celebrates by copying a feel himself and warming himself up with some exercises.
First blood. Humiliation.
The viewer and Rowan are told that it's the year 2455, together with some bad news.
Professor, where do you want this? Lab 2, I think.
Sure. Oh, whoa, where did you get that?
From your friend, the big guy with the hockey mask.
You brought him on board?
He's in the next lab. We're quite safe.
Safe?
Our scans reveal him to be very dead.
He is an unstoppable killing machine. He's not dead.
Believe me, he's definitely dead.
Show me.
With the killing machine on the loose, Sergeant Brodsky and his soldier buddies prepare to hunt down the J-Dog. They quickly find him, but his teleport abilities allow him to elude them. So let the real killing spree begin. Jason also kills the ship's captain, causing it to crash into and destroying a space station, really racking up his kill count. The remaining survivors think that they are safe, but come on, it's Jason.
Surprise, motherfucker!
They come up with the genius plan of using the exploration shuttle to escape, but decide to split up first. Of course they have to split up. Jason needs some easy prey, and this guy needs some alone time to boink his android. The group manages to start the shuttle, but this hysterical bitch wants to take off alone. Female drivers, eh? Ah, future sexism. My favorite kind of sexism. It's looking really bad, as Jason is coming to take out the remaining survivors. But don't despair! An upgraded KM shows up to save the day. Yeah, sure, why not? Together with his still alive Brodsky, she is able to take out the masked menace.
NANI?!
So that's it. Movie's over, right? Nope, there are still 23 minutes of movie left. That means more trouble is coming.
The collision must have compromised the hull. She's bleeding out.
Why can't we just go over here?
It's no good. The pontoon goes, it'll take the bridge with it.
Not if we disconnect these walkways.
You can't just disconnect them.
We could blow it up.
There's plenty of macro charge in the weapons hole.
This could work.
Oh, it's just a hull. And they already have a plan. And here I was, thinking that Jason would come back somehow. Oh shit. They go through with their plan, but oh no! Uber Jason shows up. No, not that kind of Uber Jason.
Impossible! He's dead!
And even the kick-ass Saxbot has trouble now. They even blow him up and into space, but he's still not done with them.
Oh, this sucks on so many levels!
So now it's time for the big finale. While a ship arrives to take the survivors to safety, Brodsky has to do a little spacewalk to open the escape hatch. And with Jason tearing his way through the ship, KM, Tsunaron and Rowan have to come up with a distraction for him.
Hey, you want a beer?
Or do you want to smoke some pot?
Or we can have premarital sex.
That worked out great. They barely make it off the ship, and Brodsky sacrifices himself to enable their escape. The survivor girl, the nerd, and the sexploit rejoice as Jason is dead for good. Or is he? I loved this movie back then, and I have to be honest, I still do so, even after rewatching it for this review.
Who gives a shit?
But to be fair, this isn't because it's so scary, it really isn't, but because the movie doesn't take itself too serious. Being the 10th entry in the franchise, it's more than obvious that this movie was only made to cash in on that sweet Jason money.
Damn it. I need money.
The movie's story is just like all the others in the franchise. Jason comes back to life somehow and is let loose on a group of helpless victims. This time it's just in the future and in space. There is nothing to further Jason's backstory or motivation, just him killing people. Not that that is a bad thing. At least he isn't some body-snatching dick monster this time around. The movie definitely has production value. The sets look good and the effects are well done for its time too. Especially Jason's makeup and the gore look great. Even Kane Hodder's costume for Jason looks great. They even remembered the signature cut on his hockey mask. The acting isn't half bad either, and it seems like the people working on it had a lot of fun. Especially Peter Mensa.
It's gonna take more than a poke in the ribs to put down this old dog. Yeah, that ought to do it.
But why does he seem so familiar?
Listen to me. This is madness!
Oh, right. There are some funny one-liners.
He's screwed.
Video game references.
Dallas not here yet? Nope. You, Briggs. Find him, bring him up to speed. Hondo, you got a BFG? You're with me.
I understood that reference.
It's just a lot of fun. And that may be the reason Jason X is on this list. It fails as a horror movie. It's not really scary, and there is no real suspense. We all know that Jason is going to kill a lot of people in a gory way, and a small group of survivors is going to defeat him at the end. You can either set this in space, on Earth, or in a Taco Bell. You just know what's going to happen. You can easily fix that problem by not calling Jason X a horror movie, but a self-aware, fun sci-fi action movie. And that was Jason X. One down, 36 more to go. Let's see what's up next. Oh no. Oh no!